The Packers have signed Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant? What year is it? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to the episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom freaking frackin' Grossi, and today what we're going to be talking about, gonna cover two things here. The Packers signing of wide receiver Ryan Grant. No, not that Ryan Grant. And also answering the question, do the Packers still need another receiver? With guys like Geronimo, Allison out, and of course Davante Adams still out, and the fact that our receivers couldn't do a whole lot of anything against the Lions on Monday night. But before we get to that, we got some Patreon shoutouts, which, by the way, the response on yesterday's video announcing that I'm going to be doing this full time was completely and totally overwhelming, and I thank you for it, and it was absolutely incredible. So thank you. I'm still going through comments and I am just so blown away. So thank you very much. For the shout outs, let's do it. We got Jeff F, a big shout out to you, part of the new King tier. We got Jinib, which sounds like a mixture of a Harry Potter character and a snack that could be healthy. We have Joey Falgren, who is part of the Tom frickin' fracking Grossi tier. A big shout out and thank you to you. We got Kevin Torres. Thank you, my good sir. We have Caleb Cherie. We have Justin Melby. We have Raj Singh. We have John Netsky. We got Zeno Nathan. We got Chase Higa. We have Atomic Topper. We have Michael Banzoner. And of course, we have the one and only Peter Morkos. Thank you very much to the new Patreons, and of course a big thank you to the old Patreons, the OGs. Now enough damn plugging, I got things to talk about. So the Green Bay Packers have signed wide receiver Ryan Grant, who was a former 5th rounder in the 2014 draft. He played 2014 and 2017 with the Washington Redskins. He only played in 64 games, but he only started 15 games, and in that time, he was targeted 141 times, had 84 receptions, 985 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So, nothing great. 2017 was his best season, and in 2018, the Ravens were going to sign him to a huge contract that was going to be a 4-year, $29 million contract with a bunch of that money guaranteed. However, he sustained an ankle injury, not allowing him to pass the physical, and so the Ravens were like, no thanks, buddy. And so what wound up happening is he passed a physical with the Colts, signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with them, and during that time he played in 14 games, started in 10, had 52 targets, 35 receptions, 354 yards, and 1 TD. He was 5th on the team in those stats. And then in 2019, he signed with the Raiders, played 2 games, only started 1 of them though, had 9 targets, 4 receptions for only 14 yards, and he was released back on September 25th. And just recently, he signed with the Green Bay Packers. Now, looking at him from a statistical point of view, there's nothing crazy here. It's not like, oh my God, we have our receiver of the future. No. The pros of this guy is that when he is targeted, he has made some spectacular catches before, can be somewhat reliable, but I think the biggest thing and why we picked him up is not just because he's a body, but he's a veteran, right? He's not one of these new guys or these guys coming in just their 2nd year, like we have a lot of on our team at the moment. And so it does add a little bit of a veteran presence. How long is Ryan Grant going to stay on that team? I think that's going to depend on a couple of things. I think that's going to depend on how long Geronimo Allison is injured and how long he is out for, which, considering we signed another wide receiver, I have to say he's probably going to miss Sunday. It depends on how long Davante Adams is out for, which again, since we signed another receiver, he's probably going to be out Sunday as well. And we did have to release Trey Carson for this, which, I like Trey Carson during the preseason. I obviously like Dexter Williams a whole lot more, but at this point, it's one of those that maybe we'll wind up, getting him back on the practice squad at one point, or if we wind up releasing Ryan Grant. And so, looking at this past Monday, and the complete lack of receiving weapons for Aaron Rodgers. You obviously had Allen Lazard pop up with 4 receptions for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. But other than that, you had Aaron Jones dropping a big pass. You had Geronimo Allison, who dropped a whole bunch of passes. He was targeted 7 times, only came in with 3 receptions, and then got injured. And Geronimo has also been dropping a bunch of those passes. Hasn't really been showing that he is that reliable. After starting off last year really, really hot and then getting injured, I was hoping that he was like my sleeper for this year. I was hoping he was going to be able to take a big step forward, but that seems to not be occurring. Hopefully it's just a mental thing and he can get over it. We don't have another Jamon Moore situation on our hands. And then you take a look at what's going on with MVS, who got banged up on Monday, but it has shown flashes of, oh my God, he's amazing, he's a good deep threat, but then hasn't really done anything with it. Jay Kumro has done the most with his opportunities, but he's not getting a whole lot of them. And then Jimmy Graham is dropping every single ball which way. But, it's improved a little bit in the blocking, and Mercedes Lewis has come up as being kind of a clutch target for Aaron Rodgers. And so all this being said, as many of you know, I've been on the train of just develop our wide receivers, take it from there, no need to spend draft capital, especially on guys like Emmanuel Sanders or AJ Green, guys who are going to be free agents at the end of the year. But as our receivers keep on going down and they keep getting banged up, and now we're on week 7, I do think that there is a need and there's a hole to be filled at the wide receiver position. And while I would love MVS to turn around and be the most consistent guy in the world, or Geronimo Allison to stop dropping the ball, I mean, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I'm thinking that Allen Lazard is going to get a whole lot more attention and a lot more opportunities. At least that's my hope, considering that Rodgers has vouched for him and he showed on Monday that the kid can play. And so, obviously, you have guys like Darius Shepard, who also struggled. They're not going to cut him, thankfully. They're going to give him an opportunity. Just made a couple mistakes. Hopefully that never happens again. But I think I would not be surprised if Goot makes another move, especially if Ryan Grant doesn't turn out to be a reliable target. I think that we're going to have to target a wide receiver before the trade deadline. And what we're going to give up for that, I don't know. But if it's something below like a 4th round pick, I think it might be worth it to get a veteran presence in there. Obviously, we have shopped around. There was stories that came out yesterday that the Packers did inquire about Emmanuel Sanders, and the Broncos said thanks but no thanks. And so Goot is looking. He is on the prowl for some wide receivers. I just imagine him like in a van, like parked outside stadiums, and it's just like, who seems unhappy there? He should hit up the Dolphins. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Goot winds up bringing over a wide receiver. But who knows? Ryan Grant might be a reliable target. He's obviously been on teams that haven't been great in the past. And we'll see if we can revive his career a little bit. In addition, we also have Jay Sternberger, who is eligible to return on November 3rd against the Chargers. He can begin practice. He was designated to return off IR. And so hopefully he will also be another receiver threat at tight end as Jimmy Graham. Matt LaFleur has expressed a lot of confidence in Jimmy Graham. I just don't think the fans have any confidence in Jimmy Graham. The beginning of the year was really rough for him receiving-wise and also the lack of blocking-wise. And you kind of hope that Jimmy Graham, and we've been hoping that he's going to take, return back to form, but it's unfortunately not happening. But who knows? There's still a whole lot of season left. So at this point, yeah, I'm saying the Packers should probably go out and get another wide receiver, but I'm curious to see how Ryan Grant does against a former team, for 2 weeks against the Raiders on Sunday. And who knows? Maybe he could be a reliable target. We found a diamond in the rough, if you will. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think we need to go after another wide receiver, or are we kind of like wait and see mode on seeing where our injuries are for our current receivers and how Ryan Grant does on Sunday? You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy on all the social media you'll see down below. Check out Patcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the members and new members over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. But thank you so much for watching. We'll have 2 more videos coming out today. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.